Today's regular meeting to order on November 12th, 2015 at 7 p.m. Everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Berg, would you please call me? I should. Let's see, 7 p.m. Trustee Albers?
Here.
Trustee Berg? Here. Trustee Callahan?
Here.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Here.
Trustee Gray?
Here.
Trustee Novick? Here. And Trustee Peters? Presently absent. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the Mortonville Public Library Board of Trustees meeting of October 8th, 2015, 7 p.m. I don't know if this one was. This was the last week.
It's the last board meeting.
Board meeting October 8th. I'll motion to approve board meeting October 8th.
I'll second that.
I've already been bad. Is there any discussion, any corrections, any comments? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. You need a motion for the Morton Grove Public Library Board of Trustee minutes of the special board meeting held on September 2nd, 2015.
I need a motion to approve it.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
What would we do without you two? Is there any questions or discussion about the minutes? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, that passes unanimously. And the last minutes that we're looking for approval is Morton Grove Public Library Board of Trustee Executive Session minutes of the special board meeting on September 2nd, 2015. Is there
I'll motion to
a
approve.
motion?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Can I vote aye if I was not at the meeting?
No, you should
I
not.
should abstain.
Okay.
I'm
abstaining too.
Okay.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Yes,
Abstentions? There's two,
Abstentions.
so it passes 5-2. Abstentions.
You want to recognize Kathy's here.
Who seconded that
Oh,
motion?
I did.
Carla.
I recognize the arrival of trustee Catherine Peters and company. We're on public comments, agenda items only. Are there any public comments?
Eric Pottersland, 40 Foster Street. I'll try to be brief. I just had some concerns in reference to agenda items 3, B, and C, which you just approved. You do have an attorney that I pay for as a village resident, and this basically slipped through the cracks. September 2nd to November 2nd, I can do simple math. That's over 60 days. This should have been approved last month. Within a 60-day period, you are in violation of the Open Meetings Act for not approving the minutes. So I'm just letting you guys know. I had other concerns, but I guess they're not on the agenda, so you'll have to wait till later. But it did have to deal with the budget, which was 3B, which you just approved. Previously, you guys recorded those meetings. I looked at the documents from the board meeting. I guess documents and financials from October 8th. I see nothing from the budget. So, I mean, I know you guys are running a tight ship and you've got the construction projects and what have you, but, I mean, the residents don't know what's going on. Once again, you're not approving minutes within a timely manner. I mean, I really don't know what's going on here at the library, running all these great events and all these, great things in the community, but holding a simple meeting, approving minutes, and trying to televise what you're gonna be spending for next year, I mean, it's gonna definitely cause problems when you guys try to go to the village and try to approve your budget. I'm gonna be a stronghold when you guys try to go to the village. I would like to see some documents. I would like to see the spending. There's a big shift from capital projects last year into the capital projects, into the 6200 building this year. And again, I know, a lot of your budget is based on, personnel and all the benefits and what have you, but, you guys gotta do things by law. I really don't wanna be here, so, thank you.
Okay, any other public comments? If not, President's report, I have no report tonight other than to congratulate the foundation on an incredibly successful event that was held last weekend, the flight night. And hopefully by next month I'll have some kind of general budget from the results. Okay, committee reports, Finance Committee.
Check register, there were no voids, I didn't see anything extraordinary, nor was anything brought to my attention by our director. The cash statement, last year at this time, we had 2.88 million on hand. This year, we're at 900,000, obviously, we spent it on remodeling. We're still in good shape cash flow wise. Our income statement for the 10 months, we should be at about an 84% spend if you're looking down that column. We seem to be within those limits. There's some extraordinary numbers, but it all balances out. We're actually a little under budget on the spend. And PMA, just as an FYI, our interest rate this year of 0.479% is even better than what we got last year, which was 0.343. So more is good, I guess, in that respect. So that is all I have to submit. Any questions?
Economy wasn't getting bad there or something?
They're managing the money better. So PMA does a pretty good job.
How diversified is our portfolio?
They break it out based on what you can see right there in the report.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to accept the Finance Committee report?
Motion to accept the finance committee report.
I'll second it.
Could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Elvis,
Yes.
Trustee Berg,
Yes,
Trustee Calhoun,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Novick,
Yes.
Trustee Peters, yes, motion passes 6-0.
Okay, facilities update.
The Facilities Committee met earlier this month, and we met with the director, Paul, Dave, and myself, and talked about some issues that we're still pending as far as the building goes. I saw Dave again yesterday. He's continuing to get bids for the doors, the front doors on both Lincoln Avenue side and the side. And
Go ahead. I'll mention the doors when we're
She
done.
has an update for us.
We're very recent information, so go ahead.
oh, okay, as of 12 seconds ago, I knew of one bid, but that he was going to be, that he was going to be getting more. Also talking about updating the bathrooms in the children's library, children's part of the library, as well as a banister that's going to be repaired on the stairs coming down here, which was, has been gone
Snapped,
for,
it
yeah,
basically snapped about 2 weeks ago.
about 2 weeks ago. And so that's still going to be replaced.
It's on order now.
And, oh, good, excellent. Okay, that's an update since the meeting. And I think those were the main things we talked about.
Painting for the YS room, he's starting now, for moving the workroom from across the hall.
Oh, that's the thing, the Cooperman room is going to be freed up to go back to being a business meeting room and things, and across the hall is where it's all going to be. And as far as moving, if everything electrically is in place and ready, was still a question to be totally solved, but at least it's in process and hopes to be done within the next couple months.
We should have the workroom moved right around Thanksgiving, and then we start rehabbing that space for the computers. And once we get everything off the walls, we'll see how long that's gonna take, but we're trying to do that in-house and not let it be very expensive, so
Same with the bathroom room.
be mostly in-house, yeah. So, a couple days ago, I think it was just the day before yesterday, the door, one of the east side doors literally broke and is now stuck and won't open. So it really can't wait until spring, and so Dave has not been successful in getting other door quotes. Since this was part of the 2016 budget to replace the exterior doors, I said, can you go back to him and see if he can do one door, split the quote, and if he can get it under $5,000 so that it's doable, and we don't have to have a special meeting, because there wasn't time to put it on the agenda or anything like that, and it's an emergency situation, we have to get the door fixed. So he did, just this afternoon, he gave me a quote for $49.90 to do that door, so if that's
One
okay with
door?
everybody. Well, it'll be the two doors on the east entrance.
Okay.
It'll be
Cover
a
that
raise.
dime,
I'm sorry?
that dime that is short.
Yeah.
Will
Well,
he
that's-
honor will he honor the same price for the front doors?
That would be nice, probably.
They're the same.
Yeah, and
They're the
it's
same.
later in the spring when we match it, I'm guessing he probably will, so. That again creates more work for poor David, because he's gonna have to do some painting to go along with that, because all we're gonna replace is the actual doors, and we wanna paint the rest of it, repaint it to spruce it up. But at this point, it's an emergency, the door won't, it's a fire issue, it's a bunch of code issues, so we need to do that. So I just wanted to show you that and make sure there's no objection to me going forward with getting that done.
That seems like a reasonable
Fix
price.
the door.
Fix the
Oh,
door.
actually, it was,
Press the button and it opens for handicap.
That's been broken too, and if anyone knows someone who repairs that, he's been also calling around to try to get that repaired. That's a separate issue.
Oh, okay,
I
so
don't
that's
think
not
it's gonna get, it might be related, I don't think it is. I think that's a separate issue, so
So that doesn't include the wheelchair opening.
I don't believe so. That'll be fixed after the door's fixed.
What's so expensive? Are they solid wood or?
no, these are metal.
They're metal with a white, it's not paint, what do they call that? They dust them, I think they say, so that it will look like white wood, but it'll be a nice heavy industrial door.
It's like electroplated, but
Mhm, something like that, and it will be,
Polyester water buildings.
thank you, he knows this stuff. Be far better for insulation, heat and cool and all of that, so.
Okay.
And have brand new crash bars and everything will be much better. So, okay, so that's gonna happen.
Anything else from your end? I need a motion to approve the facilities report and update.
we didn't spend any money.
It wasn't a real report,
Was it?
it
Okay.
was just an update, yeah.
My mistake.
It's okay.
The executive session, there's really nothing to say from it.
Policies, it's time for the policy committee.
It says executive session.
No.
Oh, I'm in the wrong
You're in the wrong
place.
spot, we just did that.
6C.
See,
Carla, would you like to give us a report on the policy committee?
I will do that. The policy committee met, and we did 3 policies. The first one, recording of public meetings policy. I think it was just typos and made it sound clear, but other than that, there was not a big change to that. The next one was the donation policy. And I don't think there weren't very many changes on this, just minor.
So the public, the recording of public meetings policy did not change?
That's the first one. No.
I don't think we changed it at all.
Mhm.
Okay, so we don't have to motion it or anything like
It's just well, you're supposed to annually re-adopt it.
Yeah.
that? Oh,
So do we do that one first then? Should we do them all as a group, or can we do them separate?
Do the
What's
last,
better,
do the.
separately or as a group?
Do it separately,
Okay, that's fine.
please.
Okay,
so I'll motion the readoption of the recording of the public library board meetings policy as presented.
I'll second that.
and then the next one was the.
We need to
we
vote
have to
first.
Oh,
Then
I'm
we
sorry,
want it.
I'm sorry.
Trustee Burt, or wait, was there any discussion?
Is there any discussion?
Trustee Burt,
Yes.
trustee Calhoun,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez,
Yes,
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Novick,
Yes.
trustee Peters, yes, trustee Elbers.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
okay, the next one was the donation policy. And that's separated by different, print and non-print materials, monetary and other gifts. And there weren't there weren't any changes on that other
I
than
think there was a couple of words.
typos or
Yeah.
just a couple words would make it
I don't
sound
remember
better,
any
but
changes.
we didn't really change it.
Since we just adopted it last year, I hope
We
there
have
won't
to,
be
we
too
have
much-
to adopt it.
Right, I mean, I hope there won't be too many changes.
So,
I'll motion to re-adopt the Morton Grove Public Library gift and donation policy.
thank you.
I'll second it.
Call the question.
Trustee Calhoun,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez,
Yes,
trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Novick,
Yes.
trustee Peters, yes, trustee Elbers.
Yes.
Trustee Burt.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
okay, the third one was to adopt procedures to participate in the meeting electronically. This is,
Can I just clarify, the reason for this is it's a relatively recent change to the Open Meetings Act, that if you want to do this, you have to have had procedures in place before someone requests to do this. So this would be long range for down the road, if somebody needs to be electronically, then we have done this and we've met that requirement.
right.
And once again, this year I'm going to be in Costa Rica for the January meeting, for health reasons.
If we hadn't done this now, you wouldn't have been able to join us then.
I've done it, you've done it.
But this is
before.
new, it's
It's
new.
new.
It's a whole new thing.
So this is formalizing.
This,
It's
yeah,
formalizing what we
it's
did
an
last
adjustment
year.
to the Open Meetings Act that this now has to be in place in order to do what Kathy wants to do.
All right, good.
This is a new
Or-
policy that we,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have
that
to do
the
it.
policy committee and with the help of Deborah came up with, very short and to the point. So just read it, and if anybody has any changes or
Can we have
questions
a
or?
motion first so that we can have discussion?
Oh, okay.
I move to approve, to adopt the procedures to participate in electronic meetings.
I'll second
I have one small suggestion. The final sentence where it says voting by the remote attendee will be allowed, a physical quorum must be present to hold instead of the meeting, an official meeting, just to give it more definition.
Well, without quorum, it's not, well.
You wouldn't
kinda
hold a meeting
doesn't
at all
make it
without
right,
that,
so, I
right?
mean,
Okay.
I mean, all meetings, if we're all there, it better be official,
it. That's right.
Mhm.
otherwise it's illegal.
That's true too.
The end of the second sentence should be a colon, not a semicolon.
That's true. yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
She's better at this than I am.
She's our editor.
Wait, is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
I would almost think it would be a colon.
Yeah, it
That's
should be
what
a
she
colon.
said, make it.
Yeah.
I said make it a colon, yeah.
Colon, yeah.
So the only change is the colon,
Is the colon.
but it's a new policy, so we need to have a vote.
Okay, well, I move
It's a procedure, not a policy.
to adopt a procedure to participate in the electronic meeting with the changes.
And I would also second
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, could call the question.
Trustee Gonzalez, Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Novick.
Yes,
Trustee Peters, yes. Trustee Elders.
Yes.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Callahan.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
director, report.
So, we've already kind of discussed some of the high points of my report, that we're working on moving the computer lab and the YS workroom. You're going to get a demonstration a little later tonight about our new interface for our catalog to the public called Enterprise, that Kevin's been working on. We'll be rolling out in a few weeks. The staff have been using it for a few weeks. So we've got some webinars on there that we've been getting training on. Insurance, open insurance is happening right now, so the staff are making any changes they want to their insurance. We get that back from them by Thanksgiving, and everything gets reported by December 1st in order to participate in our 2016 insurance policies. And I mentioned in there that Courtney is having a baby.
Yeah.
So, we're all excited about that. We've got a lot of things in place to make up for her being gone for a number of weeks at the beginning of 2016, so. Any questions about my report?
Website visits,
Oh, that's right.
and so do we know why the dramatic increases?
So he was looking at the stats that showed of October of last year, the website had, 17,000 hits, and this year, 11,000 last year and 18,000 this year in October.
Visits, yeah.
And we think that is due to having just closed the main floor of the library in October of last year, and many of our website hits come from the computers inside the library. So that was our guess as to why that stat was different. Then he noticed the stat about database use. Kevin's gonna probably explain that. Our new catalog interface that we're gonna be showing you combines a search of our catalog and our databases. So this is a skewed stat that we just were discussing. We're not sure what to do with this because it's not a very accurate statistic, but it's electronically counted, and it's always just counted people using our databases. Well, the catalog is now automatically using the databases, and it's getting counted. So if you search on anything, no matter what it is, your dog, you search on dogs, it's not gonna search just the books, it's also gonna search the databases, and the databases are gonna count that you searched them. And that's why just staff use has inflated it that much. So imagine once it goes public, that number's going to be huge. We have to figure out how to better reflect what the actual use of the databases is.
The other thing, this is kind of related, kind of not, is there a way for the study rooms? It is pretty difficult to find out online how you're supposed to,
Reserve them?
yeah. It's really hard to find, and then I got cut off twice telling me to try to reserve.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and it was 2 days ago, but, it's really hard.
So we need better,
It's not
clearer
intuitive,
instructions.
it's not
on how to-
intuitive at all, yeah, it's on a drop down way to the right, and it's just hidden within the drop downs. It's not good.
Do you think we should have something on the front page while people are getting used to it?
I think that if you haven't done it before, you would have no idea.
Noted.
Anything else that you want to cover? If not, there is no corporate council report tonight because there is no corporate council. And is there any unfinished business that's anybody questioned? The question came up in the minutes last month, or this last month, about the church lighting. Have you heard anything?
It's on, it's working.
It's
At
working.
least the last time I came out at night, it was on, so. it-
Only
Okay.
since last week.
I hadn't noticed when I came
It,
in upstairs.
it took, we'll check it tonight, again.
I'm
if it's
sure.
a
But
start.
it was on last.
And I know
week.
that the
Yeah.
light that's on our east wall is gotta be replaced, I understand.
I believe that's been replaced a couple of times, it might have burned out.
Dave thinks we need a new fixture.
Oh, does he, okay.
So that's the answer
That
to
could be why
that
it was
question, that
burning
was
out.
also in the minutes.
Mhm.
Any other unfinished business? If not, new business, and I'll let Deborah step in.
Okay, so the per capita grant application was delayed, and you'll probably recall in other years it had to be in by middle of October. Because of the state budget issues and variety of issues, they put off the deadline till January 1. And then just so they only recently opened it, the application forms just appeared on their websites, and the requirements include the board reviewing chapter 5 of the which is the technology portion of the Illinois standards for Illinois public libraries. The issue with the per capita grants is we still don't know if they're funded. It's very possible that we won't get that money, which is why we had this discussion, we have a budget, we have a working budget with how we'll get along if we don't get that money. So it was interesting, I attended a webinar on this earlier this week, and they have made this application incredibly simple. So I've got it all completely done except to be able to say that we had this discussion, and I'm, again, thinking there probably isn't going to be money there. But it doesn't hurt for us to go over this. This is a very important part of what the library does. So if I send it home, a copy of it, you all have this book at home as well, but just in case it wasn't easy to find, I copied the pages for you, so you could look over what it is we need to discuss. And basically, the last 2 pages are a checklist, if you want to.
My take on it is redo all of this. Right?
We are pretty in line with this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pleased, and I just thought maybe the best way to deal with it was to see if you had any questions about it. If there's anything you saw that you'd like to discuss, Kevin's here to help us work through that. Is there anything, Kevin, you wanted to particularly say about it?
Maybe if you could explain one thing for me. What is an ADA compliant website? Because that is mentioned then.
Ways that a website can be built, both in the way it appears to the user and behind the scenes coding type aspects that can make it more accessible. It involves, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but one thing is like, excuse me, every image you have should have text that displays if the image doesn't.
Okay, gotcha.
So that if someone is using a screen reader,
It'll read out that.
they can say, picture of whatever.
Yeah,
So at least they know what's there. It's things like that.
okay.
And as much as, there's probably no website that meets it completely. But as much as can be practically done, we do.
But we do it, okay, good.
Yeah, that was part of the specs on our new website.
Yeah, I just didn't know what would entail
Yeah.
ADA compliant website.
Does it also include there's those 3 little A's up in the corner so you can
Right.
change the size of the
Right.
font?
Fine,
That's
okay.
an ADA issue, you can make it the size you want it to read.
Any questions?
Did everyone get a chance to look that over?
If not,
Did we satisfy
I
the
think-
are
requirement?
we satisfying every requirement? I thought so.
I believe that we're in good standing with this, and if no one has any questions
Good.
about it, I don't think there's anything else we really need to do with that, as
All
long
right.
as everyone has had a chance to look at, take a back.
We've
We've added some things, we've added some things this year that have definitely brought us up to par, the circulating laptops, the media lab,
Self-checkout.
the self-checkouts, all of those things show that we're aggressively moving forward in the technology area, so I feel very good about where we stand there. So that having been done, the next thing I'd like to do is demonstrate the new interface, and
Oh,
let's
you're gonna
see.
get all fancy.
We're gonna get all fancy on you. So Helga is gonna assist with this. First, I've got a couple of slides to show you from Stacy Dynex, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Helga. She and I attended a CERC workshop last week, and did he pop my PowerPoint slides in there? Let's see, put this on. And I came back with a couple stats that I found staggering, so I thought I'd share those initially before.
It's turning on.
Oh, it's just, oh, it went so much quicker.
We got bubbles. Yeah, we got bubbles going. Do you need me to come
Slides where?
open
Doing that
the-
first or the bookmark first?
Put mine first, the PowerPoint slides are on the jump drive. There's just a couple slides, it'll only take me like 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Helga. Yeah. So BookMine is the name of the app that we have. And we've had that for a while, but I wanted to show you that before we show you the new bylaws page. Do you?
Yeah.
Good.
Mine?
BookMine, M-Y-N-E.
Oh,
So, you put it into presentation mode. Click down on the far right, next to the 64%, that little picture of the screen. Right there, that's it. Okay. Oh. There we go. Now, let me see if this works. Yes. So we went to this workshop with Circe, and right away he's talking about Google, which Google kind of owns the web universe. And he told us that Google is now up to 3.5 billion queries a day. So that would be like, we count our reference statistics, how many questions we field. That's how many questions, queries that Google is getting every day. The more important stat is over half of those are now done on devices, and they just crossed this threshold. This just happened. Up until recently, most of Google was done on laptops and computers. Over half of them now are done on the smartphones and the tablets. Another interesting stat, and this blew me away, 89% of Americans over age 13 now have a smartphone. So even libraries and anything that's using the web is now going remote. So as much as we have computers in the library, and we'll continue to do that, we need to meet the needs of the remote user, the smartphone, the tablets, the iPads. We have had for a while BookMine, which is our Circe Dynex app for your phone. So I just grabbed a couple screen shots of how I do use this on my phone. You say you use it all the time. I do too. If I read about a book somewhere and I'm not near a computer, I pull this up and I place a hold on it just like this. So you go into it, you put your account number, the barcode on the back of your library card, and 4-digit PIN, and you pull up this screen. And your first choice is the top, which is a search, and then there's, you can go into your account, or the things you have checked out, called My Bookshelf, or suggestions. So I went to the search screen, and now I have this scrolling thing at the bottom. I can search by author, title, subject, or barcode. Went into my account, you can see that I have three, at this point in time, I have 3 items checked out, 2 on hold, and I don't have any phone names. So I searched on X in the title screen because I think it's cool that Sue Grafton wrote a book that's just called X, and I wanted to see what else came up. I get this beautiful display on my phone of covers, and then I selected the title I was looking at, opened it up, and I can get a lot of the same information that you can get on a website. Those at the bottom, you can kind of sort of see a faded arrow to the right of where it says title info, chapter excerpt, and reviews. They used to call those drawers. They're now calling them, I think, accordions. I think Helga's going to talk about that. But anyway, you can unpack those for more information, even on your phone or device. Up in the corner is where you can place a hold. This took me a while to find. I didn't find that quite so intuitive. That little arrow up there gives you a chance to email yourself the record, place a hold on it, or save it to a list. And so I'll go in there and I'll place a hold, and now that we have on-shelf holds, if it's something that's on the shelf and I come into the library, pretty much the next day it'll be waiting for me to simply grab and pick, and they'll pull it for me and I can check it out. So I just want to show you that we are staying cutting edge with our mobile technology, and now I'm going to let Helga show you what's going to come out for the public in just a couple weeks.
How do you do that?
Search on BookMine in your app store. BookMyne.
Okay, so what we're moving towards by the beginning of the year, towards the end of the year here, is what's called the discovery layer. It's a more contemporary representation of our catalog. So if you're accustomed to looking at our online catalog now, you know, we've got a lot of similar information. This is just presented in a little bit more contemporary manner, the way in which folks are accustomed to searching on Amazon, on the web in general. So we're just getting a little bit up to speed. So a quick review of what we're looking here on this page. At the top, you've got easy access to your account, and we'll go back to that in just a moment. I'll show you my account so you can see a couple of changes that are coming. In this area, this is, again, the search screen. So under everything here, you have some options to, let me change how I'm going to present that. I'm sorry. Everything is the default, and it is much like the general search that we have now, where you just be able to go ahead and put in a search here. In addition, we're able to have a more focused search, whether it's actual books in the library, our databases, which we're all anxious to promote more, and the digital catalog, which is all of our audiobooks, so Overdrive and those that we get through the state of Illinois. Below that, you can do, again, more focused searches if you're only interested in adult material, teen material, or youth. Another way of just getting into the books as quick as possible. And we have a lot of patrons who are just really interested, what do we have on order, what do I want to get my hold on? And so we've made that a very easy way. If I say books on order and I just say search, everything that we currently have on order is going to come up, and folks are going to be able to place a hold right from this page on it.
There's no ebook?
Yes, that, yep. Ebook is the digital catalog.
Okay, you can put
Yes, so
audio.
there are a number of ways to get to the same thing, so it's the one that's going to fit your needs the best and the one that you're comfortable with. This is one way to do that, the digital catalog. If I jump back to home, over on the right here, we've also brought out the what we call downloadables, or digital catalog, or the ebooks. So you've got My Media Mall, which is one way that you can check books out, Hoopla, which is our movies and TV shows, and then eRead Illinois. So again, if that's what you're interested, we've made it really quick and easy for you to get there. Below that, we are also promoting, again, the premium online resources, which is the same, that you'd be able to access through here, but we're promoting a couple that we're real interested in letting people know that we have. In the center here, we've got a new slideshow that will just simply highlight things, in this case, the latest arrivals, and as shown, it gets updated daily. So things, as they're cataloged, we're letting you know, hey, this is what's out there for you to check out. In a similar nature, on the left-hand side, we've got new arrivals lists. So again, people are just, they like to come into the library and browse, but they want to do that at home as well. So we've got lists that you can click on, and it will automatically do the search for you, and you can scroll through the latest fiction that's arrived, and again, very easily place a hold, or text this information to your cell phone if you're interested in doing that as well. You'll notice that at the top here, once I did the search, we've got what are called facets on the side. Those of you that are shoppers at Amazon are used to seeing this. You can make, again, choices here that will focus the search you did, and we'll do a little bit of that in just a moment. The second tab, and this is really important, again, for promotion of our databases. Let me just change that. The reason that's blank is because we're looking at a very focused search there, and there's nothing to come up there. Think of Chicago. Let's go there. Actually, I kind of jumped ahead of myself, and I don't want to confuse you. I'll do a search, and we'll get a really good view of the premium resources that are there. One other thing I did want to show on that home page is down below, we've got search other libraries. That again has been very important to many people, so that they are able to look at the local libraries around us. And down below, again, we've taken advantage of just being able to promote a variety of things, including chat with a librarian. So if you're at home and you've got that burning question that you want to ask, you can just start up a chat session with one of our librarians here at the library. And that's been very popular as well. So let me go ahead and just do a quick search here. I'm going to go ahead and do a search on the Kennedy assassination. And I did not make any choices here. I just did a very general search. I could have said as appropriate if I was interested in a specific author, a specific title, I could certainly have made those choices. In this case, I'm just really interested, what
I found, as we were cleaning up some old files in my office, I found the article from way back when Baxter made the donation, and I'll pass that around. Evidently
Right
they
here.
did,
It's 79
79.
by 26.
Well, they gave like 4 deposits back then, so it doesn't say much about the terms, but let me give you the story here. So then I did some searching online and found out some information about the current
Anything? I need a motion to go into executive session
I'll motion to go into executive session.
and ask Deborah to depart.
We will depart. We will depart.